Hey everybody, welcome back to the Infinite Canvas podcast. It's me, John Venegas. Sorry there's been a bit of a delay on episodes, but we're going to get back into it full swing again soon, guys. For the time being, we are going to be doing our bi-weekly episodes, and I know I said that we were going to go on an indefinite hiatus, but that was just that little hiccup you guys may have just experienced there. We've started another show, Infinite Adventures. You guys should definitely check that out. We're 4 episodes in already, if you count our upcoming update this Thursday. The finale for Blank Slate is January 1st, and I guess we'll see you then. Without further ado, here's Spectrum Files Blank Slate, Episode 8. So, at the beginning of every session, the GM, that's me, adds a team to the pool. Whenever you enter against a dangerous foe as a team, you add 2 more points to that pool. If the leader has influence over every teammate, you add another point. That's assuming that you have a leader and that they have influence over everyone. If everyone has the same purpose in the fight, you also add another point. If any team member distrusts, the word here says mistrust, mistrusts the leader, remove another team. And if your team is ill-prepared or off balance, also remove a point. You can use points to essentially give them +1 to rolls whenever you help a teammate out. You can also spend them selfishly. When you do use them selfishly, you may you say how your action ignores or insults your team members. Remove 1 point from the pool, shift 1 label up, 1 label down of your choice, and then you can use this option after rolling to alter the label you're rolling with. And whenever time passes, I will empty your pool again and restore it to 1 team.
Alright, so what team is in the pool?
It's a point.
So it's not the entire Doom Patrol?
Oh my goodness. The only character I know from Doom Patrol is Beast Boy, and I don't think he's like I don't know how to say the name, the D'Artagnan of that team.
My dad was super into Doom Patrol, and I could probably borrow some comics of them from him.
I always just assumed that Doom Patrol was just a really obscure comic series.
They're weird.
Like Alpha Flight for DC? I mean, Marvel?
As in, one of the recurring characters is a sentient street.
Okay. I remember what comic book series you're talking about now. Yeah.
We're on this tangent, but I want to ask, what's the name of the street?
I think he became a something else. He did become like a brick or something at one point to travel.
Is it like Downtown Boulevard or something?
It's Danny the Street.
I don't know what he looks like, but Danny DeVito popped up into my head, and I just imagined in meme format, Danny DeStrito.
He has an entire Wikipedia page.
No, he's not a human that looks like a street. He is a street. He's like a whole block.
Danny is an actual street, a sentient and sapient stretch of roadway. He has long served as a home and haven for the strange and dispossessed. He has superpowers? The street can teleport.
Why? Why can the street teleport? What is the purpose of that? I mean, I guess it could get you from one point to another, but then why a street? Oh my god, this hurts my head so much. I'm just gonna get into things, if you guys are cool with that, or if you guys wanna...
I am totally cool with that.
You go for it.
We're splitting off into the first little scene that I popped up for you guys. James, shortly after the events of the previous episode, you decided to go with Nightingale and her mentees to their base of operations. These kids basically had experienced a traumatic event, and you kind of figured that, you might want to spend a little bit of time with them. And also, what's more important to you, maybe? I don't know. I don't know how your morality here works, but you heard that you can get a sweet-ass costume that they have parts for, essentially. So, is that entirely what enticed you, or do you think it's also because of the emotional support?
I'm starting to, sort of remember what's happening, and I think I went with them originally because I felt really close to the whole thing happening, and so I didn't want to distance myself from the goings-on just yet.
Alison, Nelly, and Dr. Thorne have already left to go to Thorne's office, as they said they were going to do some quick preparations and teach Nelly some basic sign language for communication. James, you and the other teens get into Nightingale's transportation, which is this universe's off-brand, copyright-friendly version of a Kia Sedona.
Just going to Google what that looks like.
It's a van. It's a van.
I was going to say, why does it have to be a copyright-free usage of an item they cannot either see nor hear? You could have just said they got in a van and just called it a day.
Because anybody can just Google what that car looks like, for one thing. Two, you can kind of assume that Nightingale owns this because it's a van for transporting children. It's not a superhero van. It's the sleekest mom van that she can afford.
Hooray for mom van.
To the mom-mobile.
I don't think she calls it that. I don't think anybody calls it that.
You can't convince me that the kids don't call it that when she's not around.
They pretty much do. As you all get in, she hands Tony and Jesus, those are Crowbar and Vaporlord, I don't know how often I use their real names, blankets, and they huddle up together for warmth and comfort. Mary remains with her emotionally strong appearance. You notice her eyes are red, as if she's been crying, but you haven't actually noticed her sniffling or anything. It's very faint. Nightingale similarly has smudges on her face, her tears mixing with her makeup. You didn't notice them earlier, but she looks a mess. Her hair isn't done, her costume is barely battened down properly, almost like she just put it on hastily. She gets into the front seat and just sits there for a moment. The car remains silent for a few seconds as she drives off, as she dries her face off, and she finishes lamenting for her students. No. Her kids. She's probably thinking about it that way. And she turns around and looks at you guys all sitting in the back. It occurred to me, I don't remember what she sounded like for a second. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to treat you all like criminals in the past. I've been with you guys for like a year now. James, I'm sorry for having you here and having to say this in front of them with you. This is the first time that I've thought I would lose you guys, and it's never really occurred to me that I've cared any amount for you other than just being my mentees. And then Mary pretends to laugh a bit. She's not doing it in a sarcastic way, she's doing it in an endearing way. And she just goes, "It's okay. I mean, we used to be some pretty bad kids anyways." And Nightingale looks at you, James, and she goes, "James, I appreciate you coming along with us. It's not much that they have left, but a friend is more than enough right now. I do have a suggestion for you if you want. You might want to call your parent. Your dad is not a Hispanic accent. I do suggest maybe calling your parents. They might be a little worried. You can just tell them you're spending night at a friend's house. I can always confirm that for them."
Oh, yeah, that's probably a good idea. So I have a decision. Is the voice actually different or not?
I think James can have one of those voices that it's not masculine nor feminine. It's just like in between. It's like if you're talking on the phone, unless the person introduces himself by name, you're like, oh, what, was I talking to a girl or a boy kind of a thing? So I always pictured that as James' voice. As in, be somebody in between.
And that's how David's headcanon for that works. My headcanon for James's voice has been that that James's natural voice is kind of, because there are girls who have like naturally husky voices. So I just assume that it's kind of like that. Where, like how voice actresses basically can land young male roles pretty easily just because all they have to do is sound a little husky, kind of like Naruto's voice actress. There's other ones, but you get what I'm saying.
Right.
That you can sound like that. I don't know if your default is husky or if your default is soft, but that's up to you at this point.
I don't know. I mean, I haven't been doing character voices this entire time, so... Which is really weird, because I did a character voice for Kelvin, but we recorded those starting after this, but I mentioned here that I wasn't good at character voices, so it's going to be very confusing.
You know, that's not your fault. That's our fault. My fault specifically for orchestrating all of this in such a convoluted fashion.
I'll continue to leave it up to the viewers and continue to not do a character voice for James. So I am going to, I'm going to make sure, like, the call volume's down so, like, people can't overhear what the person on the other line is saying. That could give up a lot, and I guess I'll make a call.
You were calling just, like, a house phone or, like, a specific person?
I think I'm just calling the house phone. We apparently still have one.
See, that's what I was gonna ask, because I don't have a house phone anymore.
I haven't had a house phone in years.
Well, it's an archaic form of technology at this point. I'm sorry for anybody who still has one. Donovan didn't respond, so I'm assuming you have one.
He has a lab phone.
No, not Gremlin, you!
Oh, somewhere.
James, you are calling the house phone of the residents of the Lloyd family.
Wait, now I have a great idea. It isn't actually a house phone, it is a perpetually plugged-in cell phone.
It's like my laptop! It's just a glorified desktop. Yeah, you're just calling a plugged-in cell phone, and you get a reply from the other end, and it's your mom. It's Brett. Her name is we didn't give her a name, did we?
We didn't give anyone in my family a name other than Erin.
I want to give her a like a mom name, like a white mom name, like those kinds of like the name of a person you would expect to like come up to a counter and want to speak to the manager.
Susan.
Sarah.
Susan
Or
Susan
Sarah.
works.
I didn't hear what you
Karen.
said, but I think Karen is the ultimate I want to speak to your manager, mom.
I know.
Alright, she answers the phone. Jane, I didn't expect to get your phone call right now. What you doing right now?
I'm just going to go stay over at a friend's place for tonight. I just wanted to make sure it was okay.
You got the mom or dad on the other line?
Yeah, they're here. I guess. Yeah, I guess we're gonna hand it off.
Oh, John talks to John? Okay.
John, you ready to talk to yourself?
Damn it, I hate doing that.
You forced it right now, but okay.
I didn't expect that, actually. I don't. So a lot of that was outside of what I wrote down. Honestly, I just thought that it was gonna be like I wrote other stuff down. I wasn't expecting that. That's improv right there.
Yeah, because I am going to do damage control after the call.
Okay. So you hear you hear her take the phone or see them take the phone, and Nightingale, her name is Garcia. She takes the phone, and you hear all of this from Garcia's end. Oh yeah, no, I was like, I'm gonna be taking good care of them. Yeah. And she looks back and she goes,
Oh, you can't see me mouthing stuff.
No. I know, she looks around and she looks at, Mary and Jesus and, Mary, Jesus, and, Tony, and she goes, no, he's just gonna be spending, the night over with, his friend Jesus. And you hear her go,
You've done multiple different pronouns.
You have.
I just never said she from Nightingale's side.
So that means the mom hasn't dropped a pronoun yet either. Or a name.
Nah, she hasn't heard or said anything. And you hear murmuring on the other end. And then she's like, oh, okay, cool. And then she hangs up. She gives you the phone back. And she goes, I don't know, she was a little confused there at the end, but I'll just take it how it is. She seemed a little irky at first, but but I told her it was fine, whatever. She did. I think she got a little mad that she was just a little mad at the end. When I mentioned who you were hanging out with. I don't know if maybe your mom's racist or if that's I mean,
no,
you know.
I know what's going on. I think I can handle that when I get back, hopefully. As far as I'm aware, she's not racist.
Okay, but if she is, that's, people think the way that they are, and I can't change how they think, so. That was kind of weird, though. Do have to admit, though, usually I can pick up on that, and I can deal with it, but it's whatever. It's whatever. And she giggles a little bit. You realize that this is the first, like, actual moment of, any degree of, joy that she's had. It's, like, she found it funny, not, like, she found it, like, actually insulting or whatever. And you guys arrive to her house. It is a beautiful home. It's basically a McMansion, in, like, an above-average neighborhood. That's kind of, like, the class that I kind of assumed that she would be. So she can afford things. Obviously, Spectrum pays pretty well. As you go inside, Tony and Jesus are escorted to their room. They are just tired and they just need to go to sleep. But Mary and Nightingale, they're still pretty alright. They don't seem, Mary doesn't seem as beaten up as Nightingale has been. And, Garcia, Nightingale, she takes off her boots and she just sits down. She goes to her room and she just, kind of calms down a little bit. She has her door open so she can hear everything you guys are doing. She's kind of listening to y'all, but she's not really being an active member of this little thing. And Mary brings you to the wardrobe that they all. It's like a communal wardrobe that they all kind of like take bits and pieces for their costumes. And she points at everything and she goes, "Well, do you have anything in mind?"
I do want to mention that on the rest of the way there, I am texting the family cell phone that there are other people there, and it's not just, like, me and one guy. Because it's better to get that damage control in early.
She's not texting you back with words, she's just texting you back with emojis. Because she is a Midwestern mom, apparently. And you get a bunch of different... You get a bunch of random ones, like the, just the general angry ones, the little devil ones, the purple devil ones, I don't know. She just doesn't know how to use any of them. Accidentally drops maybe like a jack-o'-lantern, a robot, and, there you go. Maybe you're confused as to what any of those mean.
I think I'm more confused. Well, like, at first I'm like, oh jeez, this is going to be a lot of trouble when I get home. And then just Robot Pumpkin, I'm just like... I don't... Just, like, furiously Googling in the back seat.
You find out it's the name of a weird indie band. So no, Mary shows you everything that they've got. They have some really cool stuff, like you weren't really expecting. When she said scraps, they had some really good stuff. And she's pointing at everything. She goes, yeah, so Nightingale basically got a bunch of random parts from old heroes and stuff. Oh god, I said that weird. Not from old heroes, but from old hero costumes.
Old heroes. Just like, whenever a major calamity happens, one or two heroes die. And, well...
Parts of old heroes would be more useful for Gremlin.
No.
Nightingale claims the right of salvage.
I like that. She sees like a hero's about to die, and I don't know where you just hear dibs.
But she uses her power for it, so they have to obey. That one's mine! Okay.
We need to give Nightingale a dark backstory.
That's a really dark backstory. I'm not a big fan of this. What's going on?
I'm absolutely sure none of this is canon.
It's all canon.
You say that. Yeah, Mary's like, so, what's the name that you said you were going by?
Ankily.
That is Roman.
It's a shield, and, I got rid of the page. I had the image saved. It
looks really cool.
Yeah, so you've seen the image here?
Yeah, so it's like, I don't have it popped up, but, correct me if I'm wrong, it's like a long cylindrical, almost kind of looking thing, like, it's round on the edges, it's long, and in the middle, it has like a semicircle cut out on both ends.
Yes.
That's for sticking a spear through. Very useful for phalanxes.
And apparently 12 of them specifically exist, and 11 of them are fake. It's so that no one can tell which one's the real actual artifact. I'm not, like, info dumping this right now. I'm info dumping to the audience.
Oh no, like, do you think this is a thing that James would say in character?
No.
Wait, is that you said that's Roman, right?
Yeah, it is the shield of Mars. So I'm going to crib Captain America here, and I'm definitely going to have to see if they have a shield. Because you can't be named after a shield and not have a shield.
You look around, no, sorry, there are no shields around here. It's a little bit of a bummer, but she's picking up random stuff, and she's like, Roman. Are there any strengths you have? Any other things you're good at? From what we've seen, you're really good at like jumping and hitting things. She looks kind of nervous about this. Like she doesn't really want to tell you something, but also kind of like being nice about it.
I mean, yeah, anyone can be good at jumping and hitting things with enough practice, and that's what I did. Although, current performance in the campaign notwithstanding.
If I may ask, how did you learn how to fight?
I watched other heroes, and I copied them.
Did James have a YouTube channel?
There's a YouTube channel dedicated to him by a random stranger who is just taking random footage from him.
That sounds creepy, but okay.
It's actually very common in this setting, I assume.
It's very common. There's always people recording shit.
No, but just like this one guy that has like 100 videos of nothing but James.
I don't think James has been that active.
I'll say it's a bunch of videos of random other heroes also.
Okay.
He's like what do they call this? Those YouTubers who just like put random footage from like crimes and stuff that have happened. Because in this universe, like heroes pop up.
The Vine compilations of heroes.
Yeah, it's like Vine compilations, but with superhero stuff. Mary is actually at this moment remembering a moment that you probably had, and she's just like, okay, let's see.
James is in a number of cape fail videos.
Yeah, that's what she's thinking.
Not like
right
fails. I'm using cape in the worm term for a person with powers, not actually wearing a cape, because he does not wear a cape with what we have said so far. Have we said any of that on the podcast?
I don't think we actually described what you... we described what you wore, and you never said cape, so we just assume you don't have a cape. And she's looking at you, she's just like, you seem to get in trouble a little bit sometimes. Maybe if we got you, like, And then she takes out... It kind of looks like... a bit like Nightingale's outfit, a little bit. Where it's like a combat suit, is just what it is. It's like, maybe something simple, or do you want to be a little bit more flashy?
Simple is fine. I didn't go out to be a hero to draw attention. I did it for other people.
We're just gonna say that we're gonna star wipe and say that you guys work on your costume. It's gonna be a rudimentary, simple one, nothing too fancy, just because you don't really know exactly what to do with it yet. It is also made of old parts from other heroes, so you don't want to... other parts from other heroes' costumes. So
hello, yes, I am Combo Man.
Combo Man had laser vision from Cyclops, and that's the only useful thing from any of the heroes that he had that I can think of. 1/16 of his body is made of adamantium. It's like a random part of his arm. I don't know. Alan and Alison, you two arrive to your lab, Dr. Thorne, and you notice that when you guys were walking here, or did you guys walk here, or drive, or what's up?
Don't know if I don't know if Grandma has a car or not. So I'm pretty sure you probably would have walked there.
It's walking.
Do you walk? I have never asked you this before.
It's a fair question. Considering how much he ate, he can definitely make himself extremely solid at the moment. So yes, he is walking.
As you guys walk there, you notice that every so often, Nelly keeps on stopping to look at something and constantly tries to touch everything around them. They keep straying the path and interact with basically anything and everything.
Basically the same way I would with a small child that's doing the same thing. Nelly, come on. We're going to my lab, remember?
Nellie's body moves towards with y'all, but their head keeps on, is really focused on a random tree branch right now.
Oh, okay. At first I thought you were gonna say, her body keeps moving, but her head stays there. So it just becomes like a weird, stretchy kind of a thing.
No, that's what's going on.
Nelly, your head needs to come too.
Nellie's head moves along, but begrudgingly so. You guys pass by a lady who's walking some pugs, and they start barking at Nellie. Nellie looks at the dogs and screams in its horrid native tongue, an unnerving squeal of unearthly guttural noises. And you can see Nellie's body spiking about. The pugs freak out.
As a reaction...
Those are restrained.
As a reaction, Alison quickly just puts up a force field, one between the lady and her dog, and another one between Nellie. And I tell Grim, you just can't be walking around with her, or it, just like this. Can attack someone. We need to find a way to either get there quicker or keep her from seeing things.
And what do you suggest?
We should have kind of brought a tube, maybe, put her in there. Or put it in there. Could have made it a lot more quicker for us to get to our place without these incidents happening like this.
Alright, I'm going to do an assess the situation to look and see if there's a store that has good backpacks.
At this time
or,
night?
Duffel bags. A pawn shop works.
Okay, you go to...
I do not find a pawn shop.
The pawn shop is closed. Not even the sketchy ones are open.
Come on, I think I know a way through back alleys. However, I mark potential, because I failed.
Hey, Thorn, how do you... this isn't a character. This is me. Hey, how did Thorn want to teach Nelly ASL?
Partly by way of using a computer and a website that has that.
Okay, so you have...
And a few things that he has around to use as examples. Like food.
Oh, yes, the
prosthetic, arm, leg.
Okay. So I'm
Man, woman.
Okay, as you were doing those things, Nelly does the same signs and looks around kind of bored as you do them. Well, or as Nelly learns them. Almost like Nelly's just learning it rather quickly.
I wonder if it would be possible to teach you the language we speak.
Can they sign back to... can you understand sign at all? Or are you gonna...
About as much as she can at this point.
Okay. You've just been playing along. Okay, okay, let's see. Nelly signs back to you, and this is... I just realized... the implications of talking in sign on a podcast, didn't baffle me until earlier today, and I'm like, how am I gonna handle this? So Nelly signs back to you. No, can't.
Well, I mean, she didn't really use sign language for that. She could have just shook her head no.
Realize I could have done that. Nelly does that instead. But then signs can't, because there's no nodding of your head to indicate can't.
Well, it was worth a thought.
Then Nelly points at their throat and then goes, I can't think of simple words to use for this, so we don't have.
So basically she's saying she doesn't have... Wait, she can screech, but she doesn't have, a voice box.
You know how animals can make noises, but they can't speak? That's what it is. I do have to clarify. When Nelly screams, the scream doesn't come from their head, it comes from their whole body.
Well, what if I could teach you about what makes up a voice box?
Nelly looks again at you and then signs too hard.
Too complex of a thing to make?
Shakes yes.
If we could teach you our alphabet and how we write our different words, there's always texting.
Now she's gonna be a teenager with a phone. Great. Way to go.
Just hand Nelly a marker and a whiteboard.
Just hand them a marker. They are a whiteboard, essentially.
3 months later, Nelly is entirely black from their expo marker.
Oh my god. It's like those clay erasers that they sell at art stores.
I guess while the doctor is doing this, I'm scummaging around his lab, looking for stuff. Hope he doesn't mind.
What specifically are you looking for?
Just stuff to make up a new costume.
In Gremlin's lab?
Yeah.
Alright, you want to try and roll for assess the situation and see if you find the thing you're looking for?
Me?
I mean, you said you wanted to, so...
No, I was just looking for, I wasn't looking for anything in particular, just something to see if I can make a costume out of. Because I'm pretty sure, I'm going with the premise that, pretty sure he's seen other heroes and maybe even treated them. I can be correct on that, right?
Yeah, here and there.
So I'm pretty sure that maybe throughout these, like, visits and stuff, maybe a hero or two will leave some stuff laying around, because maybe they forget or stuff. So I'm, like, just rummaging through some stuff to see if I can make any, like...
It'll probably mostly be small gadgets and stuff.
I have a thing you can, because you guys don't roll all the things you guys have been able to do, and I don't want to, like, tell y'all to roll things, but here's a suggestion. Hey, Alison, do you have any influence over, Dr. Thorne?
Yes, she does.
You can take advantage of your influence over someone, so you can, like, do this and, like, not even tell Gremlin, and he won't even notice, and you can give them, and then after you surrender your influence, you have to do one of, 3 options. That is, give them -2 on a move they just made, or after a roll, inflict a condition on them, or take an additional +1 on a move targeting. I think those 2 of those are combat based and those are NPC based, but you can still do influence on somebody that is on your team.
I think I'll just assess the situation. I'm not trying to keep it from him. It's just while he's doing that, I'm just, digging around quietly, because I don't know if he'll be okay with it. But if he does see me, I don't care. I'll just explain what I'm doing, and I'm pretty sure he'll be okay with it.
If he does notice, he's actually going to give Nelly a little break from the learning and have her watch, like, Reading Rainbow or some shit like that.
I mean, Nelly doesn't realize that there's better stuff, but,
But I'll go ahead and just assess the situation here, which is superior. Superior is at a +1. I get an 8. So I guess my question would be, what here can I use? Is there anything here that I can?
Well,
use?
are you just staying on the top level?
I guess like wherever we're at, like wherever you have Nelly, or wherever you have the items, you will leave items for like patients that leave stuff around. I'm there. Probably in your lab or something.
The lab will mostly have prosthetics and such. She might find a note about a prototype for her.
You see what appears to be a scarf. There's stuff around it that kind of like points to that it's for you.
I'll go up to Graham and goes, "Hey, didn't mean to be snooping around, but trying to see if I can find anything useful. And, found this weird scarf, and it has this note saying that, pretty much implying that this is for me."
Ah, yes. I've been working on a very quick and easy to switch in and out of outfit for you.
How does it work?
Well, that particular one is a rough prototype. However, due to some recent research I've come across, I can make it actually something that you can use a mental command to activate or deactivate. Currently, it is a voice-activated system.
When you said rough prototype, she kinds of like takes a scarf and like extends it out, like she's scared, cause she's seen what some of your experience can do, aka what happened to you. And she goes, rough prototype. Don't want to come off rude. What is the chances it can explode on me? If there is any chance of this thing exploding on me.
Hang on, I'm doing the calculation.
Oh god,
12%? And that's if you're moving when you act.
So, basically what you're telling me is stand still before I activate this.
Yeah, I'm going to be working on a better one that's actually thought command and far smoother.
So, I just, like, wrap this around myself and tell it what to do?
Well, we'll need to actually key it to your voice first.
And I guess she hands it to you and sees what you can do with it.
He actually wraps it around your neck and pins a brooch right where your voice box is, and you hear a small click, and then he's like, "Alright."
I heard it click.
Say what?
I heard it click. Is it gonna blow up?
As soon as you say that, it basically starts kind of unfolding into a rough estimate of your costume, but it's just straight out, like, charcoal black.
Oh, well, I can already.
And now the key phrase for it is, I heard it click, is it going to blow up? Give me a second and we can reset the key phrase.
Oh, okay. Well, when you hear something click, first instinct is it a bomb? And is it gonna blow up? I apologize.
Any countdown for any bombs I make is completely silent.
I guess she tries to hand it back to you, and if you do let her put the key phrase, I don't know what I want the key phrase to be now. You're giving me a hard choice. Can it be Excelsior? John didn't say anything, so I'm pretty sure that's okay.
No, you can't use Excelsior. That is Stan Lee's trademarked catchphrase.
I could add a physical activation for it, but most people seem to like voice-activated effects these days.
If I can choose, I'd rather just have like a tap activation kind of a thing, if that's not too big of an issue.
Alright, small hidden lever.
What exactly, is it just a way to disguise myself in a sense?
Yes, I based it on your current costume for the most part, adding in a couple of interesting things that I've found from other heroes' gadgets that I've been paid. For example, inside of the cloak there will be a slight blur of your outline.
Nice.
Makes it a bit harder to hit you when you're inside of the cloak.
Awesome.
I recently came across some technology information that will allow me to actually combine it with those constructs here. So they're psionic.
Okay, so this seems like a question that, does Alison know, or does...
No what?
He's asking you if the constructs are psionic.
Oh, I don't know. I don't think they are. Well, it's all psychic based, so...
I mean, you can have psychic magic.
I more thought about like weird light constructs, bending light to form to a way I want to, and solidifying.
So it's more of like it's more like Zenith, if you remember that? Where we said it was manipulation of the light itself and not a psychic power.
I guess you can say that. Like Green Lantern is a Green Lantern ring.
So it's more of direct photon manipulation.
Somewhat, yeah.
The finished product I'm hoping to make for you is going to have a thought-based link. You'll just think at the brooch I'll give you, and it'll act. This one, I'm working on it at the moment. I'm just making it to where you click a button and it activates. Stay still while it activates, because it is a metal and cloth mesh.
So I guess as soon as you hand it back to her, she goes ahead and activates a little tap and see what happens. I guess she sees all these cool new little features she has. She goes like, whoa, it looks like there's multiple me in the cape.
That's the blurring effect. Hero named Prism had a gadget that he gave me.
Are we slowly gonna just turn Alison into Arielana?
That is my plan.
Well, I mean, I'm hoping this gadget basically functions as the spell blur.
I guess she says, hey, since I'm kind of, I have to, I'm gonna go meet Jay at Spectrum Tower. This scarf really helps a lot. Do you happen to have any way I can quickly dye my hair different color? I know you can do weird stuff with your power.
Yes, but I have to touch your hair.
Why don't you just dye your hair?
Because it takes long.
Now, one of the biggest differences between my dyeing someone's hair and someone else dyeing their hair, mine is technically all matte and will actually be permanent, unless you dye it yourself. Okay.
There's like a percentage chance you'll get cancer though with your method. A higher percentage than using dye. Obviously everything has a percentage of giving you cancer, but...
Especially in the state of California.
Yes, but at this point, she knows she's due.
Okay, I guess she walks up to him. He goes, okay, can you not have it be permanent? Just be something temporary?
Yeah, actually, that's fairly easy as well. You'll have to wash it after I'm done.
That sounds great.
It's an organic pigment.
She lets you do it, and you turn her hair blonde.
So basically, I bleach her hair.
Somewhat, yeah. She just wants something to be done. She wants a quicker method than just sitting there for like hours waiting for the, dye and bleaching to take in place.
Basically, I just turned the exposed hair blonde instead of messing with the roots, too. It feels tingly.
Oh god, remind me not to do this again. I'll just take the long way next time. She really has nothing else to do in Thorn's, in Grimm's stuff. Alison will just wait until the next day to go meet James at the Spectrum Tower.
I'm just gonna teach Nelly a bit more, work on some projects for you and Jason, was it?
Okay, hold on. Does Gremlin not know James's name, or do you not remember James's name?
Gremlin recently had a massive data dump directly into his brain, so names are not exactly the most important thing, right? Jason, James?
Yes, James.
Okay.
The guy we've been working with for days now. Yes,
I'm sorry, have you ever put a whole bunch of files into a hard drive and then tried to find something that you had on there beforehand?
Okay, I want you to repeat that again and see who you're talking to. I don't understand what you mean by that.
Say you download a bunch of photos on your phone and you're looking for a selfie that you put on there like a year and a half ago. You know how hard it is to find that? Yeah, it's like that right now in my head.
I'll take your word on that. In out of character, I don't think Alison has ever taken a selfie. But she nods her head like, yep, I got you.
She at least gets what he's saying.
Yeah, and as she walks out, she just says, look, if Nelly goes into a weird rampage, just call me.
Yep, will do.
She walks out.
By the way, you guys gonna need any help tomorrow? Because I'm probably gonna be here.
Oh, I guess she pops her head back open. I don't know how things are gonna go. I'm pretty sure they're not gonna go like it went when you were there, and have a whole alarm system go off, because we're not gonna be trying to insert ourselves into their computer system. But you did say you have a friend, correct?
Yeah, Moo, he's about your age. Good kid.
Don't want to disturb you from what you're doing here, so maybe if you give him a call, in case anything does go wrong, he can probably lend a hand.
Jesse, your phone right quick.
She tosses it to you.
And then just, like, a couple of seconds later tosses it back. It now has a new number in the contacts. That's him. Tell him that Gremlin's calling in one of his favors and to meet you wherever.
She waves thanks and thanks for the scarf. Hopefully we can get all of this sorted out soon. And then she waves him bye and walks out the door. And then this is when the new day comes. This is when the baby sun rises up from the west. Sun rises from the west, right?
In this universe, it does. I don't care. Yeah, sure, it probably does.
The sun rises in the north and sets in the south.
Paul, no!
He's actually going to put on...
Puppet shows?
No, he's going to pull up a YouTube channel dedicated to teaching people reading, writing, and sign language. And just put on a playlist.
Yeah, Nelly gobbles that up. Yeah, Nelly gobbles it up. Actually, you notice that Nelly is very childlike when it comes to all of this.
Quick thing, do you leave autoplay on?
It's on a playlist.
I would say if you leave autoplay on, then it's gonna get to the point where it's no longer about the same subject, and now you end up at a weird video, and now she's watching, like, dramatic scenes from, like, war, and, like, a Holocaust, and all that stuff, and Ed's gaining all this weird knowledge, and now we see, like, a glimmer in her eyes of what is truly gonna become of the future.
But, there'll also be a couple of, videos in there of, like, signed songs.
Gremlin, at some point during this, it was a little bit accidentally, but you noticed something strange. How far away are you from Nelly when you're doing all this?
Mostly just keeping her in sight.
At some point during this, Nelly wanted to ask you something, and actually made physical contact with you. And you notice that nothing's happened to you.
I'm somewhat confused by this.
Yeah, as one would be.
What's she asking me?
So here's the thing, for one thing, I don't think Nelly I don't think Nelly has, if Nelly understands gender, I don't think Nelly has, figured out, associated themselves with a gender. I know you say she, but if you do say she, they'll still respond. If you say he, they'll still respond. I don't think they understand the concept quite yet. I'm just putting that out there. You guys haven't directly called Nelly she, but Nelly hasn't associated themselves with. They were going to just tap you on the shoulder. Gremlin has a shoulder, right?
Yeah.
5 of them, in fact.
Sometimes.
Nelly just wanted to tap on you and just like sign to you, thank you.
I sign you're welcome, and then just gonna go looking between her hand and my shoulder.
Nelly doesn't actually notice and just turns back around and starts playing video again. They have kind of figured out how to use the computer at this point a little bit, just like basic keys and stuff.
I'm looking for something that would figure out what the fuck just happened. Well, good news is I rolled a total of a 6 for Pierce the Mask.
You rolled the right number, but Gremlin's Mundane killed it. Nah, I'm sorry, dude, I can't help you out there. You're gonna have to figure that out on your own, smart boy.
I'm going to get her attention and just kind of, did you figure out how to control whether you turn people's powers off?
Nelly turns around and goes, what? Yeah, okay, when I say Nelly says something, you just assume it's signing.
Normally when someone would come in contact with you, their special abilities, I make myself have 2 hands, stop. They can't use their abilities anymore. When you touched me just now, I should have just fallen into a puddle of goo.
Man, you guys are really good at signing now.
Well, no, this is actually him talking.
Oh, okay. You said you grew hands. I thought you were signing all that. I'm like, damn, Gremlin.
He grew hands to demonstrate his ability.
Nelly signs back to you with, don't know. Can I try?
I actually detach one of my goopy hands and set it down. Try on this.
Okay, I don't know how that's not painful for you. Is it painful for you?
I'm effectively fleshy sludge, so it stings a little.
Nelly touches that part that you just like threw off. It fizzles away and like turns into like a puddle. And then Nelly looks up at you and then goes, I tried.
Feel free to go back to what you were doing.
And then Nelly just turns around like a child and just keeps on doing what they were doing.
Yeah, in Gremlin's head, theories are going just all over the place on this as he goes back to working on the sand.
If she was a real kid, then she'll be like chasing you around saying, no, I'm gonna touch you. I'm gonna touch you.
I don't think she's figured out that part of the whole thing.
Another star
You
wipe.
really like your star wipes.
I do love my star wipes. Next arc though, it's gonna be moon wipes. That's what it's gonna be. Crescent moon wipes. It's the next day. Full disclaimer, I'm just gonna put this off the top of my head because we lost track of time a long time ago. Because I'm not going to keep track of it anymore for the rest of the duration of this arc.
I think we can agree it's just going to be the weekend, just to avoid this.
It's just the weekend. It's a really long weekend. So, Alison is there as Ashley. She has bleached blonde hair.
Hey guys, how y'all doing?
Oh my god, is that what you were making yourself sound like?
I think Alison will kill herself before she made herself sound like that. Oh wait, can I retcon one thing? Before we do leave, I asked Grim if there's any kind of connections he has, wirelessly connection, like probably like a weird USB drive or anything that we can attach to a computer at Spectrum, and he can have access to that computer.
Okay, on that, I have to ask the DM a question. So, does Gremlin still have that full influence over the Spectrum Defense Protocol Percival?
Yes, he still has all influence over Percival.
And full knowledge of how to contact Percival.
If you can get into contact with him, then you'd be able to talk to him.
Yeah, he's going to hand Alison a little, basically, internet relay node.
That's basically what she wanted. So that happened the night before too.
Just leave this somewhere that no one's going to find it, and I'll be able to access.
Good. I'll leave it in the back of the fridge. No one checks there ever.
Leave it under the fridge, actually.
So are we still having the disaster of one of us showing up in costume happening?
Yes. Mostly because, again, Alison planned to go in civvy suits and attire. She did not plan on you changing your mind, or she either thinks you changed your mind, or that you did not understand what she was trying to say and decided just to change your costume. But she's gonna be there with a cool little scarf, sitting out. She's gonna be sitting up in the front with blonde hair. So whether you even recognize her or not, that's gonna be something else.
You say sitting up at the front. Okay, I want to be very clear on something that's happening right now. You showed up to where Spectrum is, the tower. I'm assuming you're there first because this was your plan. Am I correct?
I would think so.
James would probably show up later.
Leaving from the Redemption Cruise place, wouldn't I?
You guys actually are outside of Spectrum Tower right now. And I don't know if Ashley wanted to walk up to the tower at some point. There's police tape outside.
If there are like any benches outside or like near the doorway, she'll sit there. If I have to go like inside, oh well, I guess she's just gonna sit as close as she can to the tower. If there's police tapes all around, I guess she'll take a look, see what's happening, unless there isn't a crowd. If it's just like, if there's police there and there's no crowd, then she'll stand her distance. If there isn't police there, then I guess she'll walk up closer.
There's a crowd. There's a crowd and there's some officers.
Okay, and then I'll just like mention to the crowd. I'll try to stick to the end of the whole thing, so in case James does come in, he can see me. I didn't even tell him I was gonna be in a different color hair.
And I don't think I've seen you out of costume either.
No. But you can kind of infer her height. She's pretty average, thin woman. There is one aspect of her that I changed because someone else guessed that I was gonna make a woman character, a typical male version of a woman with giant breasts. So I was like, you know what? She has no breasts. She is flat chested. So I guess from that, she has like black hair and all of that, but now she's different because now she does have blonde hair, but she mostly is there to keep an eye on the background to see if she sees you, and at the same time she's trying to see what the cops are doing.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting like this much of a crowd as I walk up.
James, what do you look like?
Yes, look would be none of these have like hair color or anything either.
Oh, I've never actually asked you what James's hair color was. Jeez.
Blonde.
Okay.
I really hope that die roll got audio.
It did, and also, okay. So in today's episode, both David and Paul made their characters blonde.
Mine's a temporary thing.
James's hair has
Going
always
back.
been blonde. It was never mentioned because it wasn't important to the narrative.
I was actually trying to ask you if James is there as James, Jane, or Ankily.
The mask is on.
She looks around to see if she sees James, but at the same time, she's trying to see what the cops are doing. Well, I'm gonna roll for assess the situation.
This is the
Our
time!
favorite
This
roll.
is the appropriate time to use this! And
Is
like,
it?
everyone's like, what do I do? Yes! And there's a situation, and you have to assess it!
I want to defend right now. I'm gonna roll for defend.
I'm gonna pierce the mask to ask John, what do you want me to do?
You can't pierce the mask on the GM!
Can I pierce the mask? Ask the DM what he wants me to roll.
I can't pierce the mask, but I rolled a 13 for pierce the mask. I wasted a 12.
I got an 8, so that's just one question. Well, what here can I use to determine what happened? Is there any, like, any kind of evidence, huge sign of, like, what happened here?
You remembered yesterday when Nightingale was talking about what happened at Spectrum and Spite died. Spoilers. I don't know how you could be listening to this episode and not have listened to the last one, but spoilers. And you can kind of hear murmurs from around, and you hear civilians just going, "Yeah, I heard that somebody basically like infiltrated their place and like, you know, freaking like destroyed their security system." It's like, Spectrum has one of the best security systems ever. I'm pretty sure that's not what it was. And you hear somebody else like, "I heard some dude died in there." It's like, dude, no, you for real? So basically, civilians have kind of figured it out by now. But you also hear one other thing. Man, it's a real shame that they had to lock the place down. You know, hey, you know that they said that when they lock the place down, there's no way you can go in or out. It's like, really? It's like, yeah, that sounds pretty stupid. Well, they want to double check, I guess, see, you know, interrogate everybody that was there yesterday. Most everybody that they could find that was there. You can actually hear the two cops kind of like that are outside, and you actually recognize them. They're Moreno and Ness from the I believe it was the first episode. They're actually just kind of like frustrated. They're just like, I can't believe we got to do this shit. And in the crowd, you can actually see Aaron. He is trying to get to the front of the crowd.
Is he, I guess, dressed for the work, or is he just also snooping around?
He's snooping around. So he's not a superhero. So his civilian attire and his work attire is the exact same attire.
I thought he would. I would think, since he's somewhat of a detective, he would dress like in a suit maybe when he's at work.
He just like unbuttons his shirt and like makes himself look messy when he's normal, and then he buttons up and looks clean when he's a detective. It's his disguise. He's very good at it. He brings a lot of newspapers. That's actually not that's not distracting at all.
So it doesn't look like he's on the duty right now.
It doesn't look like that, but he's just really good at blending with the crowd.
Okay, at this time, I look around to see if I see anyone that looks like Jake.
Well, you two did a fantastic job of making your characters look drastically different for this, so good luck finding each other.
I'm gonna be looking for Shadow.
Don't you have each other's cell phone numbers?
I don't think they do.
Nope, no one in the group passed my number.
Oh god, okay. Because I want to say I want to roll for something, but now that I want to roll, I'm scared that John's gonna yell at me, because...
You know,
You can roll for whatever you
you know
want.
what? Shadow could be looking for Nightingale and the rest of that crew.
That is what I was gonna do. But would they be with you, or did you come alone?
I mean, you have no reason to mistrust them, or do you? I mean, it's up to you. It's all entirely up to you. These NPCs, they're at your disposal right now, if you want to make this decision.
But I'm not supposed to have the NPCs at my disposal.
If he comes with the rest of the kids, then I'll just be like, hey, that kid is about the size of James. Please tell me that's not James. I wanted him to come in his civilian suit. But if not, I mean, I'll look around. Is there any, like, visible heroes around? Outside.
Oh, you want to see if there's other heroes outside?
Yeah.
In
In costume.
Not many. There you see a few scattered here and there in costume, but they're not James's build. Paul, I was asking you, and this is when we kind of cut off. Do you have any influence over any of the NPCs?
I have influence on those bottom tier heroes.
Are we talking about the Hawaiian and Shoehorn?
Yes. I also have influence over Mastodon.
Okay, yeah, you have influence over them, but they're not here, so...
So we can assume one thing, that if James does walk up there, he doesn't see Alison or Shadow, But the one person he does recognize will be Aaron. So I'm 100% sure that if I don't want to play your character, Paul, but if James saw Aaron, he will probably walk up to him.
All right, so you scoot yourself up to the front, I guess.
Yeah, just like say, "Hey, Aaron."
And Aaron turns around and he's just like, "Oh, hey, do I recognize you?
I have a new costume and new hero name. But yes.
You must be..." He actually doesn't know who you are.
That's fair, because I don't look the same, as mentioned before. I'm Ankly. I was with you on... Geez, that was like 2 days ago, wasn't it?
It was the park.
Was that... You! You're not that shadow person, are you? I'm pretty sure that was like...
No, I'm the other one.
You were taller. The other one. Oh, you're the guy who jumped up and did a kick.
It was... Yes.
Oh, I remember.
I want that to be our hero descriptions, as in there's Shadow, there's a gooey guy, and the other one.
The guy who jumped up and did a kick.
It was supposed to be a backflip. That was what I was going to say. I was like, it was... Yes, that one.
Oh, cool. Well, it's like, I mean, it's really hard to top combat...
Ankly now.
Oh, jeez. What was it, like... Ankly?
Yes.
Achilles.
No.
Okay. Okay, say it again.
Ankly.
Ankily.
Yes.
Ankily. Okay, I got that cemented in my brain. He's like got his fingers on his temples. Got it. All right.
I don't believe you, but okay.
What are you doing here?
Well, we heard that the situation from a few days ago took a turn, and I wanted to follow up.
From what I've gathered, it looks like... Wait, what do you mean it's changed?
Well, I didn't actually save anyone, apparently. Don't you work here? Wouldn't you know that?
Yes, I work here.
I check his credentials.
Hey,
you might be lying about that.
No, Aaron is just like, yeah, so, I'm a private detective, and I was kind of hired specifically by the kids. So when I said I worked for Spectrum, I meant to say I worked for somebody who works at Spectrum. Just because, like, they, didn't really trust anyone else. They wanted to trust a third party, and I was as close as they'd get.
I mean, they probably weren't wrong to do so. Well, I'm not under an NDA, so I didn't actually say anything I wasn't supposed to, so we're fine here.
And he, like, grabs his phone really quick and does a really quick Google search, and he goes, okay, got it. He's looking up what an NDA was. Which, for anybody here who doesn't know what it is a non-disclosure agreement.
At this time, can I say that, Alison has seen this, other person walk up and talk to Aaron? Do I have to roll to figure out that, hey, that kid looks like James?
No, just infer. I mean, there's probably some blonde hair popping out of there.
I saw one person recommend to only roll when failure would be interesting or it'd be actually something difficult.
Yeah, I'm super disappointed we figured that out 6 episodes in, but, yeah, we'll start rolling whenever you guys can fuck up royally, because that'll be delicious.
So I guess she slowly approaches and, like, taps, James with quotation mark. Are you... Because he doesn't want to say James, because Aaron's there. And he doesn't know if James wants his name to be out there. He goes like, Are you the one I'm supposed to be waiting for?
I thought you were coming in costume?
It is you then. No, we weren't supposed to come in costumes. And then I look at Aaron and be like, oh shit, no, we, damn it. No, the plan was not to come in costume. Bro? I've never seen you in this costume. Why would he think I'll be able to find you when I've never seen you in this new costume
Well,
of
I'd
yours?
be able to find you if you were in costume. And then you could see my sweet new costume.
I was not planning on coming in my costume, but, I guess that's what we're gonna do now. Oh, wait, that doesn't work. I can't say bro, because Aaron knows him.
Aaron is just like, I don't know if you got your face covered at all because of the whole...
Well, she's hoping that the blonde hair helps.
So you guys know, I have the smuggest fucking look on my face right now.
Aaron is looking at you guys, hears this, and he like turns around a little bit. The moment he's about to look at you, you just hear people kind of like getting louder, and you hear them going, "What's that?" You actually see people moving around. They just start running to the other side of the tower, where you can actually see an up in the sky.
Is it a bird,
It's
John?
all fire. And it's not a bird or a plane,
Is it
Joe.
a plane?
It's a fucking fireball, and it is
That's called
appeared
the
in
sun,
sky,
John.
and it's coming hurtling towards y'all.
Oh,
What's that? That's a bird and a plane, and it's an air. It's a bird and it's an airplane. That's what it is.
Oh, it's a bird-shaped plane in the form of a fireball?
That's exactly what it is.
So it's a crashing bird-shaped plane on fire.
It's not a bird, and it's not a plane. It's not a shit. It's the oh, fucking god. It's a fireball. We're having this conversation. Wow.
I'm sorry, John. Where is the fireball flying towards? Is it flying towards us?
I think he said it's
Is it
coming
flying
towards us.
the building?
It said it looked like it was coming towards y'all, but you notice that its trajectory is more specific. It's going towards the tower. I don't know. I don't think there's anything you guys can do about this, but
Might be a good time to call someone.
That's what I was gonna say. I was waiting for John to finish saying what he was saying.
I've stopped my sentence.
Okay. I look at James, and he goes, he doesn't know what to call you, because you changed your costume, so he doesn't know if you go by the same name or not. And he goes, she just says, Jay, I think we're gonna be in a bit of a trouble here. And so she taps the little scarf she has, and she gets her new costume that comes out, and it goes, and I'm gonna have to call someone, I guess he's gonna be a friend now. And he quickly texts, I forgot the name of the person.
The name in your phone is just Moo. M-U.
Text Moo, hey, Grim said you have favor, go to Spectrum Tower, and I take a quick picture of me, a quick picture of James, and I send him that pic, and with more text saying, this is who you need to look for. Send.
So she does take selfies.
guys, I could do something about this due to the rules of this game, but I can't figure out how to make it work.
If you want to try it, what do you want to try?
I'm not going to do it because I don't think that it's something he should be able to do, but my advancement that I just took was my moment of truth, which lets me do any one thing no matter how insane, how ridiculous. But I'm not going to do it. I just knock the fireball back into space and just be done. Just one punch man it.
Didn't know James had that secret power.
Neither did he.
That is not what's going to happen, though, because I don't think it makes sense, nor do I think that's fun.
It doesn't make any sense. First of all, you just be Saitama at that point.
But only once. The moment of truth is only one use.
Okay, so you've sent your message to Moo, and you guys notice that the fireball gets closer and closer to the tower. Normally, a hero, or many heroes, would go up and stop this. But they're all inside the tower right now, and there's no way for them to go in or out.
Oh, the tower's on lockdown.
And for some reason, nobody's going out. A lot of things could be happening.
We need to break a window so they can get out.
I don't think it's that easy. Is it like, just by looking at the fireball, that's flying towards, is it like, there's, it's just common sense that there's nothing we can do to stop it.
It's getting closer. You can see that it's starting to appear more like a big metal sphere, essentially. I don't know if the rules of the game let you figure this out, but
I knew it! The null came back, right?
I have to roll and unleash powers for Moo to arrive. I figure if it fails, he's probably going to fall from 10 feet above, right behind them.
I want to cast Phantom Killer on it.
Nice try, kiddo. Yeah, no, the orb actually does crash into the tower. We're not doing this. The ball crashes. The ball crashes into the tower. Now, under normal circumstances, this would demolish it, but this is superhero world. The tower is made of a more reinforced material, but it does still break into it. The orb opens up, and yes, a bunch of null does pop out.
I knew it.
And starts trickling down into the sphere, into the tower, and it's trickling itself down.
I'm going to yell, if you don't have powers, you should probably get out of the area.
Yeah, no, people are freaking out. They're just screaming and stuff. There's like a larger percentage of people than should be just looking up and taking pictures and video. That is the generation that we live in, folks.
One picture of the apocalypse per person, please leave.
And I'm assuming that Moo has popped up now?
Yeah, from above you guys you hear a loud pop, and then, oh shit! But right behind. I rolled a total of a 2.
What?
Fucking ow.
What happened? She's Alison's confused. She's like, "Who the hell are you?"
I'm Moo.
Did you do this? Oh, Grim's friend.
Reaches under the rubber Halloween mask, and you guys hear a crack as he puts his nose back in place. Fucking hell.
Well, he is friends with Grim.
He promised me there wasn't gonna be no gross things here. He lied. Okay, I was not expecting you to get here this soon. He never told us what you can do. Oh. I would think he'll be a little bit more helpful.
So, what do you need my help with?
Is it Moo like the letter, or Moo like the sound?
Moo as in the concept of it doesn't matter.
I turn and say, I don't think this is something we should be trying to figure out at this moment. There is a big metal thing in a building.
A building
and
that
I'm pretty sure...
we can't get inside.
No, according to John, the building didn't fall, but the thing broke into the building, so now it's big.
So you just want to go through the material that hates you?
Well, if Nelly has taught us anything, I somehow can kill it. So, I mean, are you really gonna stand here and have all these heroes inside just die?
None of the ones we've met would die, would they?
Well, I mean, I don't think they can fight this thing with their powers taken away from them.
Right, but are you suggesting they get in them and then they stab them to death? That's out of character.
You're asking me how the Null would kill them, or?
Yeah, has Null killed people without powers or that have powers before?
Nelly was turned their body into spikes and pierced through the Crocagator.
Right.
Without nullifying any powers, it was capable of killing people. Around the tower in real life, the reunion tower, has a thing where you can has a thing around it that lights up and has like a very basic kind of like LED light show essentially. This also exists on here. It's a little bit more advanced. It's more of like a pixelated screen that has a little bit more stuff to it. It's flashing something different instead. It's flashing something very unusual, I would say. It's not something you guys have ever seen before, with the exception of one person, but he's not here. And the electricity spazzes out, and then from it generates, it's a hard light form. It has a head, a torso, 2 long bony arms with 2 fingers that protrude from each end of it. And it starts spiraling down. It looks around.
Who is that?
End of session. What are your how have you guys advanced?
I don't want to speak for the whole team, but I think we pretty much all grew together as a team.
Cheers, bro. I'll drink to that.
I don't know. Moo just kind of just got there. So his current mindset is, what the fuck was I just called into?
You'll be sure to tell us what Moo does and is next time. That's the first checkpoint on like next week's episode.
Yeah, one of the things Moo's probably going to end up doing if this doesn't really go well is basically teleport to Gremlin's laboratory, grab Gremlin, teleport back, and say, "You fucking deal with this."
Okay, well, I at least would say I think Alison grew more into the team, and I think he'll give that credit to Thorn, Mr. Grimm, since he did make her this sweet, cool scarf.
Check. Alright, that brings us to mutual influence.
Does grow closer to the team make sense? Well, with all the confusion and how much time I spent away from the team, grow away from the team does make sense, though. Not by a lot, but it makes sense. I think that's the one I'm gonna have to go with. Very little time with the team, and the time that I spent was basically spent arguing over the plan that we messed up. But I think I'm gonna take the influence away from Gremlin, because he's the one I didn't interact with at all during this session.
Alright, that switches that to has influence rather than neutral.
On my thing, on the grow closer team, it says I can give influence, clear a condition, or mark potential. Is that mark potential on the person I picked that made me grow into the team, or that me mark?
Yeah,
potential
you get to
myself?
mark your own potential. It's basically like the one you want to be shooting for, just for that free experience point.
That's what I'm gonna do.
Also, just straight up heal 20% of your health.
Do you want to do? We could do end of game for Grim, since he was in this.
Gremlin's going to grow closer to the team, and Alison will get that influence, so time to move labels.
Because you already have a few. How many do you have at max right now? One.
Danger and Freak are at maximum high.
Okay, I don't want to affect that, because then you take a minus to that, right? You get a condition?
Correct me if I'm wrong, but you had 2 conditions in the previous episode, didn't you?
Yeah.
From what I can muster, you can only remove 1 condition per day. Or
Did you want me to shift your labels, or did you want to use your growing as a team to clear a condition?
I give influence to that character and clear a condition or mark potential. So I did clear 1 condition, and that was angry. And thanks to my 2 failed rolls, I got up enough potential that I have something unlocked that will come in very handy here soon. Poor Moo is just so confused right now.
I mean, I can shift your superior up and your savior down?
Savior's actually at maximum low.
Oh, okay. That is also a bad idea then. What about the other way?
Take 1 from superior and put it to savior.
Because I want to give you the chances to get a bonus to assess the situation. Don't want you to lose too much in that, because it's going to be hard for you to gain any information on that. What about your mundane? Is that at low
That's at
max
a
too?
-1.
Okay. So I'll take 1 for your, 1 down for mundane, and then 1 up for superior.
Yeah, that works. And good news is, he's no longer angry, he's just a little insecure now.
So, John, what's your end game stuff? Did you grow closer to the team?
well, I really wish people would stop piercing my mask, but I would say that I grew better as a closer image of myself. And I want to shift up my superior and lower my mundane. And for the 3 people who listened to that and actually thought I was serious, well, then congratulations, they tricked you.
John, what playbook are you using?
I'm using the Omnipotent playbook.
The Nova.
It has the Supernova, if you will. The only weakness is the moment of truth.
So it could only be beaten by someone using their moment of truth?
Mm-hmm. That is the only thing that can stop the Supernova.
Oh, interesting.
That is literally what the moment of truth says.
Do anything you
Yeah.
want.
Yeah, and then the DM has to respond after you're done.
Yeah, you take full narrative control so long as you stay within the narrative of the moment of truth.
Or like, oh no! No, you have a whole, like, Monty Python moment. You, like, take over the script for a second. Okay, the Null is about to attack you, and then it has a heart attack. Implying that now you have narratively implied that it has a heart, and its heart has been attacked.
So, like, for the beacon, your moment of truth lets you have complete control, but only for one thing and one enemy.
Well, it's a good thing that your enemy is a big blob of sentient matter.
My moment of truth tells me to be the monster and save them anyway.
The bull apparently just breaks everything.
I break the null.
You let loose all the pent-up strength, rage, and glee. You break whatever stands in your way. You are a walking demolition crew. What can stand up to you? Nothing. Not buildings, not structures, not enemies.
Full disclaimer, I'm really glad that none of you guys are bulls, because that would have really broke how I wrote Null.